Hello, YouTube. You notice something behind me? Yep. I just got an Infinity War poster weeks before the movie comes out because I already know the movie's going to be awesome. It doesn't have everybody on it, though. It's just Gamora, Rocket, Spider Man, Cap, Thanos, Thor, Iron Man, Star Lord, and freaking Doctor Strange. So it has about a third of the cast. But hey, I'm happy that's on my wall now. I put Groot over there by my wall. So welcome to another R-rated movie month review, and this is a 2014 comedy, action comedy. I promise this time it's funnier than Kick-Ass because that was just disappointing. This is a sequel to a really funny movie from 2012 that was a big surprise, a box office hit, two leads that have amazing chemistry, and that is 22 Jump Street. They're not 21 anymore. Well, they weren't 21 when they filmed the first one. Now, this was a hilarious freaking sequel. Like, you know how they say that comedy sequels are a dime a dozen and a lot of them really suck? Well, this one is actually a good one. It's not Hangover 2 or Hangover 3 or Zoolander 2 or Caddyshack 2 or a lot of, comedy sequels which were not needed. But this made me laugh a lot. Like it says laugh out loud funny. I did. I laughed several times really loud. Even better than the first one? Well, in some cases, yes, some cases, no. Basically, it's the premise is they there's a lot of meta humor in the film that they realize it's a sequel, so they're like, yeah, we're gonna do exactly the same thing as last time, but even better. And I'm like, yeah, see, Phil Lord and Lord&Miller. I'm gonna say this right now before Brolo comes out, aka Solo, a Star Wars story. Lord&Miller, I should have never done that movie. I see this movie and I see the first Jump Street and I see the freaking Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs movies, and I'm like, I realize that their humor doesn't work for a PG-13 because when you take out their witty dialogue and their puns and pop culture references and profanities, it's not the same. It's like censoring Deadpool, and they tried that and it failed. Here, these two have amazing chemistry. This is not a kids movie. This is very R-rated. There's a lot of language in it. It doesn't have as much nudity or like sexuality as the first film, but it still is very R-rated. I mean, the scenes that made me laugh, I'm going to say like the three scenes that made me laugh the loudest. One of them is the scene with what you call it, where Channing Tatum is finds out about that Jonah Hill, what's his name, Schmidt, yeah, Schmidt and Jenko. He makes fun of his boy because he had sex, and he's actually dating the police chief's daughter, who's Ice Cube, and it's hilarious. Like he's like, "Yo, he fucked his daughter. He fucked his. Oh my god!" And he's like jumping all over the place. That's a funny scene. And then the scene where Amber Stevens West, who she was in Greek, she's the black girl in the movie, and she wants to introduce Jonah Hill to Ice Cube, and as soon as Ice Cube, you see the look on his face, it's hilarious because he's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, and Jonah Hill looks like he's ready to die, and then they go to a buffet, and Ice Cube is going crazy. Oh my god, just that scene alone, he's like, "What the fuck is this? Get the fuck out of here!" I'm like, oh, that scene cracked me up so much, man. And then there's another scene with him and Channing Tatum. I don't know if it was the scene that they get high on Wi-Fi, which is basically the drug in this version. And no, it wasn't that scene. There was another scene that made me laugh really loud. I forgot what it was. I'm tired. But anyway, this is a really good sequel to the first one. It's very witty. It's got charming dialogue, really good emotional scenes. You buy these two guys as friends because they do anything for each other. They're like brothers. Um, Well, oh yeah, the scene. I remember the scene now. They go to a therapist in the college, and they he thinks they're both gay, and I no, I promise you, there's no gay kissing in this scene. And he tells these two guys, "Hey, why don't you two hold hands?" And he's like, "No, I'm not gonna do that." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I love the guys in the nerd pack like brothers, but I'm never gonna hold their hand." I'm sorry, that killed me. That just he's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. It's like, come on, hold my hand. No, I'm not gonna do it. That scene cracked me up, man. Just see, Lord and Miller, they get me. It's like they know what makes me laugh, and that's what worked in the first movie, and that's what works in this movie. There's some weaknesses in the film, though. The film is a little long in the two. It's not too long. It's 112 minutes. It was about an hour and 40, which I think there's a few scenes you could have cut out of the movie. Jillian Bell is in the movie. She's kind of underused. She's decent in it, but she's kind of underused. Um, the villain, one of the villains is, without spoiling too much, is Peter Stormare. He was the villain in The Last Stand with Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was in The Lost World Jurassic Park. He's done a lot of films. He's in the film. He's one of the suppliers of the drug Wi-Fi, which is going around campus. It's this little thing like in a plastic, and it looks like a hard drive. And people are taking it, on campus, and they frame one of the teachers that he has a Wi-Fi and he doesn't. And yeah, it's basically a murder mystery of this girl, this black girl that died on campus because she was killed because of the Wi-Fi drug spreading. And there's a lot of cool scenes. Instead of remember the chase scene in the first film where uh, Jonah Hill was dressed up as a whatchamacallit, as Peter Pan. In this one, they go inside of a mascot, football helmet shaped car, and they go throughout the campus and they fucking everything up, and it's hilarious because they try not to get damaged because it costs the department a lot of money, and just yeah, the movie's just hilarious. Like I'm glad I got this on Blu-ray. It made me laugh my ass off when I saw it last week. I'm like, they do a lot of parodies. There's a lot of cameos at the end. You have Anna Faris and Seth Rogen and a bunch of others, and I think Bill Hader's in a scene. They do like 24 Jump Street, 23 Jump Street, 25 Jump Street, 42 Jump Street, 21 Jump Street in space. It's crazy, the post credit scenes. It's just a lot of fun. Like I said, the movies, it knows what it is, and it makes me laugh. The scene when they go to spring break is a lot of fun. There's a scene in the beginning where they're chasing that Jonah Hill's pretending to be a Mexican, like, "Hey Holmes, what's up, man? Yo, homies, your essay. I want to get some drugs, man." And he puts a bandana on, and they're chasing the guys in the truck. And then Jonah Hill, there's really good stunt work in the movie. Jonah Hill's on top of the truck, and then a freaking what was it? He gets an octopus on his face and is all over his neck, and it's a practical effect. It's not CGI. And there's a scene that he gets the octopus off of his face and his neck, and then he hits a freaking pole, and I'm like, oh my god, that's like Deadpool. It's like the scene in Deadpool where the guy hits the freaking, he gets splattered onto the freaking sign. That was awesome, by the way. It does have that sense of humor because Lord and Miller, they know what they're doing. Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill are a delight. They make me laugh. Their characters are very likable. Even when they do separate things, like Channing Tatum is playing football and Jonah Hill's he's hanging out with his girl. He goes to a poetry slam. That was a funny scene. Just it cracks me up, man. I wish that I had seen this in theaters and the first one because even though yeah, there's two people that don't come back from the first film. Brie Larson didn't come back. She was doing Room, so she was trying to win an Oscar, which I'm glad, and she's gonna be in that really freaking soon. I hope she's in a post credit scene because I love her. I don't care if she has an astronaut, guys. If a woman can act, that's sexy to me. Yeah, just to let you know on Brie Larson, just because I have all the faith in the world in that girl. And also, Ellie Kemper doesn't come back because she was doing uh, Kimmy Schmidt, I think, is a Netflix show, so she was too busy and she was pregnant, I think, around that time. So, or yeah, so she wasn't able to do 22 Jump Street. But I did, with those two girls gone, I like the new girls here, Jillian Bell, and Amber Stevens, and all the other characters, and it's really funny, man. I don't know how movies like this come out and then there's sequels that come out that are just shitty comedy sequels that don't do it, or they're like toned down. Like you have, uh, like I said, the Hangover sequels. Why did we need two sequels to Hangover? The first one was fine. You didn't need a third movie, a second or third movie to make things even worse. Because a premise can only work once. But with this one, instead of going to high school, they go to college. It makes sense because they 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 look old enough to be in college instead of high school. They look like they were 30 in the first film, so you don't really buy that when it comes to that. But in this one, it does work because there's people in college that are 18 and there's people that are 30, so it evens out. And there's also another scene where Jonah Hill's beating the hell out of Jonah out of Jillian Bell, and she's like, "You got that look in your face that you want to kiss me," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to kiss you," and he's beating the shit out of her. But I promise, Josh, it's not an abusive thing. It's because later on when you find out in the second half of the movie, she's not what she seems, and it's hilarious. Just I'm glad that he likes a black girl. See, an interracial couple. I'm all for that. And the film, yeah, there's some jokes that don't work. I would say that. Also, some of the dialogue is repetitive. Like, I get that they have to say things twice, but sometimes they say the same words over and over, and it kind of gets repetitive. But other than that, a lot of the jokes. There's also a joke where a pig takes a crap. I was like, that wasn't needed. But there's a lot of funny in this movie. If you're looking for an R-rated comedy action film with some good leads, there you go. And Lord&Miller, I'm glad they're never, that I'm not glad that they were fired. I'm just glad that they're never going to have to do Disney Wars again because they were wasted in that. That's when you use them and you misuse them and you mistreat them and you don't let them do their film. When they do their film, you get results like this. And I can say this right now. This movie and the first movie are going to be better than Solo. Yeah, that movie's gonna have like half of their script, and it's gonna be glossed over with bad reshoots, a shitty freaking British chick, and a lead guy that we haven't seen in much. And also, it's gonna have that dour look of a Star Wars movie with no color. It's super serious. It's not gonna be a joke. Fuck you. This is how you do it. This is how you make action comedy. Granted, there's no sci-fi in it, and you make it work. And it has colors in the movie. It knows what it is. If you cut out like half of the profanities out, it would be like a PG-13, and it would still be better than Solo. And I can't believe that this movie, like some people didn't like it. They said it wasn't as good as the first one. I laughed my ass off. If a comedy makes me laugh, unlike Kick Ass, I am gonna give it a pass. And the action sequences are good. There's no shaky cam. There's no bad cuts. There's no edits. There's no frenetic movement, like the camera's moving too much, so I can't see what's going on. I can see everything that's going on. It's vibrant. It's funny. It's witty. It's hysterical, and I really enjoyed watching this movie. And I know, yes, I know Sony did this, but I know they're going to be a 23 MIB 23, which is a spinoff with the cast of this and Men in Black. I don't know if Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones are going to come back, but hey, it could work if you get younger actors that can work in Men in Black. Maybe it could be a good, spin-off. But I'm glad there's not going to be a third one because I don't want them to ruin a good thing. I don't want another Hangover 3 or something like that because it's just not necessary. What worked us first times, lightning can't strike twice. But here is a rare occasion of a comedy sequel that's lightning did strike twice. It was a massive hit. It was well received by critics and fans of the first movie, and it was surprisingly good. I never saw the TV show, never. But the first movie was hysterical. I think the first one's better because it's much faster paced. It's a much better movie. It's got better cameos. Johnny Depp is in it, and it was bloodier. And I thought it was a movie of its time, and it makes me laugh thinking about it. But this one was a really close second, and it's really funny, and it works. What works in this movie works very well, and I'm glad it's R rated, and I'm glad I finally got to review it. So that's my review of 22 Jump Street. As a fan of good comedies that actually have good action and good actors, I would recommend both of these movies. They're not for children. They are hard edge. They have violence in it when they need to. They get high, but not intentionally. They accidentally get high. And the two leads are fantastic. When they hug at the end, Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill, you buy it. This should not have worked, but it did. And the guys are just they're really good chemistry. Like I miss that in films now when it comes to casting. You can't force chemistry. It has to be there. Case in point, it has to be there. It has to be there. When it's not there, you feel nothing. Here, I was laughing my ass off with both of these movies. I want to see the. It was so good. I wanted to go back and watch the first one again. That's what a good movie sequel does. And Last Failure is not one of those. Sorry, this movie doesn't retcon the first movie. All the events that happened in the first one are canon here. Why are some of the actors gone? Because, well, they went to college instead of high school. And they even show clips from the first movie to start the film off to see previously on 21 Jump Street. See, it's continuity and it works. It makes you caught up. You know what's going to happen next. And there's a lot of winking at the camera saying, breaking the fourth wall in a way with dialogue, like saying, you're going to do the exact. This feels very familiar. Like this. Well, how can the same shit happen to a guy twice, just like in Die Hard 2? But when it works, you hit a cinematic home run. And I'm very glad I got these movies on my birthday. Great birthday gift for me. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my new poster. It's going to stay there. When I see the movie, I can't wait to freaking talk about that because that's going to be epic sauce. You're going to get every ounce of emotion out of me in my videos and my, when I come home from the theater to talk about it. Oh, yes. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. And I'll see you guys in the next review. More R-rated movie month to come. See ya.